Welcome back. Just sat here in the corner of this little studio, and I'm just trying to finish off a little sketch in my sketchbook actually prior to the painting of it, because I think I might do this as a painting because I quite like the composition of it and I'm quite happy with how it's going. So I'm going to turn you around and show you what I'm doing, but eventually I hope to turn this into a small painting on a canvas. Let me turn you around a minute. Here we are. This little sketchbook I started ages ago. I've shown you, I've actually whipped through this sketchbook and you might have seen this actual sketch before I started to put some paint into it. I'm just going to put a little bit more colour so I know what I'm doing with it. Move that over there. Also, I've got my fine liner ready, so I'm going to just do this for you, show you what I'm doing. Also, I can use this just to take some of the colour off, because actually it's quite, this is watercolour by the way. But I'm just going to splash it on like this, just so as you can more or less see where I'm going with this. I started this sketch opposite my house. I've got this lovely view. There's a churchyard to the left, but up beyond the churchyard it's quite steep. I've actually got these little ponies. I think there's 3 actually, but I could only see 2. Little black one, a little grey one there. And he's got a nice bright green rug on, which, wait a minute, let's put some more green in there. Let's just put some green into it. Doesn't look bright green, does it? Let's put a bit of yellow, that might brighten the whole thing up. I think I've made it dark. I think I've made it a bit dark, to be honest. But let me just dab a bit of that out. Put some yellow into it. A bit more yellow. Take some of that colour off. Watercolour's quite unforgiving, but there are a few things you can do to get the colour out. If you can see, I'm just literally just going over with a dry brush, taking out that colour and then rubbing it on that tissue there. Excuse me. But the thing is, you've got to have quite a clean brush to do it. That's better. I'm happy with that. I'm going to leave that. Put my little set there. This is just my this little painting set I always take out with me, and it fits into this little pencil case. Got a tiny bottle of water there. That's all I need. When I go out sketching in my sketchbooks, I just take that. And it's a Dial Around Me. I've got several paint boxes actually, several of these little watercolour sets, but this one is my favourite because it just fits beautifully into this little pencil case with everything I need in there. I've got a fine liner pen, a sepia pen, a pencil. I've got some Payne's grey in there as well. Anyway, let me get on with this. I'm talking too much. I've actually got 2 pigeons up there. And this is the telegraph pole, by the way, which I think I've said before. I always like to put things like, in nature, there's no straight lines, but occasionally you'll get the straight line from a telegraph pole or something like that. But normally, as I say, in nature, there are no straight lines. So a combination of the two, natural shapes and man-made, although that is not straight. I can see that now. Anyway, I must crack on with this and just put some. I'm going to add a little bit of shading to the right of the tree because I think the light's coming from the left. So what I'm going to do is just add some dark colours slightly over to the right. Also, there would be a shadow here. I'm not looking at my subject at the moment because I'm in someone else's studio, in my friend's studio actually, taken over his studio. But you don't need a lot of space to paint. This is a corner of his studio. This tiny little bit here is all I need. This is all his stuff over there, all his paints. Better not touch them. All his things here he's doing. Anyway, I won't show you what he's painting, you won't like it. So I'm just going to add colour to this, so when I come to paint it back at home in my own studio, I'll have a good idea of what I want to do with it. Now down here, these are quite interesting. They're bushes actually. Put some colour into it. I can literally just put some shadows in. Green and brown make lovely darker brown colours. If I dab it like that, it looks more like textured. It makes it more natural if you add a little bit of burnt sienna or something. Excuse me. Still got my silly cough and gruff throat, not throat. I'm going to add a tiny touch of yellow, just a little bit here, a little bit over there, just to give some different colours. When you look at green, Ray, there's so many colours going on. It's not just green. There's a whole host of colours going on. And I like to do that with dibs and dabs of different colours. As you can see, my palette's a little bit dirty now, but it doesn't matter because, as I say, just little bits of colour here and there add to the interest of the composition. Or the painting, I should say. Over there, look, I've started doing a little tiny bit of pen and ink. So with all these dabs of colour, what I can do is, when I'm ready, I can go back into that with the pen. I might be able to show you a little bit in a minute. In fact, I'll show you now what I do. So with a fine liner pen, sorry you can't see that. It's in a shadow. Wait a minute, let's pull this down a bit. With a fine liner pen, I can go back into this here. I can start making. Can you see what I'm doing? I can't really do too much because it's wet and it will stop the pen from working. It'll clag the pen up, so. But already, look, you can see it's giving it some definition. But I think I'll leave that to dry there, but maybe do a tiny bit here. See what I can do here, because I think that's dry. Okay. No, it's not having it now. Unfortunately, I've got the nib wet. But look, let's let that dry. We'll come back to it. I hope you like watching. I hope it encourages you to pick up a pen and just put something down on paper, whatever you see in front of you. It doesn't have to be a landscape. You can even just start doing some still life. Anyway, if you'd like to see when my next video is coming up, please subscribe. It's totally free, but it does warn you or tell you when my next video is about to come out. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.